Good afternoon and welcome to a Stockton Unified District School Special Board Meeting. Item 1.1, call the meeting to order. Yvette will read the sentence on the public contest. Back to you, Yvette.
Thank you, Madam President. Individuals who address the board shall not make comments that are threatening to personal safety, repetitious, disruptive, or out of order. Any person who utters threatening language, who is unduly repetitious, who engages in extended discussion of irrelevance, or who engages in disorderly conduct at the board meeting shall, at the discretion of the board president or a majority of the board, be barred from further audience before the board during that meeting. Anyone who continues to disrupt the board meeting after warning will be escorted out of the room. In order to help assure compliance with the Brown Act and in order to make our board meetings more effective and more efficient, trustees will speak only when recognized, and trustees who speak on a topic other than the agenda item currently under consideration will be out of order. Back to you, Madam President.
Thank you, Ms. Yvette. Now we go item 1.2, roll call taken by Yvette. Back to you.
Thank you. President Cecilia Mendez.
Present.
Thank you. Vice President Zulueta.
Present.
Clerk Rico.
Presente.
Trustee Maria Mendez is absent today. Trustee Avalar.
Here.
Trustee McBrien.
Here.
Trustee Flores is also absent. Back to you, Madam President.
Thank you, Ms. Yvette. Now we have item 1.3, Pledge of Allegiance led by Mr. Marcus Omlin, Emergency Services School Safety Program Coordinator. Thank you.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. Item 1.4, or suggestions. Abby will read the announcements or public comments. Thank you.
Individual speakers shall be allowed 3 minutes to address the board on agenda item 2.1. The board shall limit the total time for public input on item 2.1 to 20 minutes. Trustees, we do not have any comment cards for item 2.1. Thank you.
Nobody
Can you
have any
please ask to
comments?
folks, please speak into your microphone? We are unable to hear in the audio. Thank you.
We don't have anybody?
No comment cards for item 2.1.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Just bring your card to the front so we can follow the process. Thank you.
Trustees, we have one comment card for Mr. Tony Morales regarding item 2.1. Thank you.
I have a quick question. Are you able to hear her in the back?
Testing.
Can you hear Can you hear the speaker? Okay.
Sounds like it's ready. I don't know. You hear okay?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't find out about this meeting until 2 hours ago. But that's me. I don't read my email. So I'm not really wholly prepared. But I'm wondering, this is a special meeting, whether this agenda item couldn't have been taken care of at a regular board meeting. I don't know what the reason is, and maybe it's none of my business. I don't know. But I do know that it doesn't bode well for planning because some people need to make arrangements to be here. And this was a concern, I think, at one of the other meetings. But the other deal I have, I know that there's a protocol and a process for submitting these CONAP school plans to the district and the district giving it to the school sites. But I'm just wondering how the school plans at each school site are monitored and evaluated, assessed, and whatever results they make changes to address those results. I mean, to me, that's just good planning, good monitoring. And you can't wait until the end of the year when they have testing. So to see if the youngsters are achieving or not achieving at whatever particular schools, because we know as a district, students are not achieving as well as they could. And sometimes I know there's reasons why some school districts that are similar to ours achieve. Maybe they're smaller districts. Maybe there's a different selection for teachers or how teachers are transferred or whatever happens. But, you know, if they can do it, I don't see why Stockton Unified can't do it if they have the dedication and the culture that's necessary to achieve that kind of thing. It takes a commitment, it takes monitoring. And I'm wondering nowadays whether, from what I read, and I don't read a lot coming from the board or from the district, but I read a lot from a lot of people that like to slam you. So I don't know, you know, there's two sides to every story. I've heard their side, haven't heard your side. And I guess that's what I would like to get to. And I wanted to at least say that. I just wondered about the efficacy of the district once they receive the school plans, how it is that they, you know, give feedback to the school sites. I think that's something we got to look at. But anyway, that's what I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Morales.
Trustees, I do have another comment card. Second comment card is for Mr. Harpreet Chima regarding item 2.1. Thank you.
Hello again. Let me just pull up some data. Sorry, I came late. My question was just about the actual differences in numbers between the adopted budget for Title I, II, and III funding and the numbers that you guys have presented here. Don't have the specifics on me, but for Title I funding, it was 37 million in the adopted budget. It's 20 million here. And the numbers for Title II and III were higher in the adopted budgets than they are here. So my question is, how can, you know, school sites be expected to properly plan for the future when the adopted budgets that you guys are presenting them are so off from the funding that they're actually getting? And lastly, other school sites have released their Con App, which has more of a breakdown of how this money is going to be spent. I know we should have a completed version also, and there's, you know, with the complaints about the lack of transparency in this district, there's no reason that we shouldn't also make those documents public. All right, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Shima. Anybody else?
And this concludes public comment cards for item 2.1. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we have 2.1 action approval to apply for continuation of funding through the consolidated application for funding Category 8 programs. We need a first and a second to discuss this item.
I'll do the second.
Mr. Scott Ryan first, Vice President second. Open for discussion. Any questions? I do have a question. Why, there's somebody here so I can ask that question?
Yes, Ms. Joanne, you want to come up, please? Our interim CBO, Ms. Joanne Juarez.
Thank you, Mrs. Joanne. And my question is why it had to come in today?
It had to, I'm sorry, it had to come in today because it's due on the 12th and it has to be board approved to be able to submit on the 12th, and our next board meeting is the 13th. And with the changing of positions, it was just not brought to anybody's attention, and then was brought to my attention. That's why I asked for the special board meeting.
How important is this for us to vote today?
This, if we don't submit this on the 12th, we'll lose our Title I funding. All our funding that helps with extra stuff that we can't supply with students through our general funds. This is money that we can actually extend services out to them.
Anybody have any more questions for Mrs. Joanne in the podium?
And how much money is that?
The total amount is $25,305,491.
Do you know why the reason why this item was not posted in the last board agenda?
I don't, I'm sorry. It was something I think the previous CBO just didn't oversaw and didn't see it. And when I came into the position, it was brought to my attention, and I've done this before for other districts, and I remember that it does need to be board approved, and it has to be board approved before we could hit the submit button.
Thank you so much for seeing this. It was greatly needed. And thank you so much for your time. Anybody have any more questions?
Well, I just want to thank you for coming on board. Making sure that we meet these kinds of things. And from what I can tell, it appears we're backed up a bit. So I think your hands are full. Please call on me, or I believe any one of us to us. Sorry about the noise, my button, but yeah, please call on any of us to help you and assist you in any way possible. Again, thank you for being here.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else would like to have a conversation with Mrs. Joanne?
Trustee Rico.
Thank you, Mrs. Rico.
Okay, I'm going back to your question, President Mendez, and I think the best person who can answer the question that you made is Mrs. Ramirez or Mrs. Miller, because they was the one who reviewed that. Susan Ramirez reviewed the application and approved it by Tracy Miller. So I think one of those are the best can answer your question.
What was the question?
Why this item was posted on the last board meeting and it had to
As-
come today.
Yeah, as we indicated, a change of leadership, she brought this to our attention, and it was after the last board meeting that it was like, we got to get this done. So that's why we brought it forward.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Joanne, for your time. If everybody have and discussions has been made,
Oh, I just wanted to make a general comment.
the microphone is yours.
Thank you. I believe the public needs to know, and I need to remind myself, when we are ready for that board meeting, many of these things have been put on the agenda a week prior because of legal requirements of posting. So even though we know it needs to be there, it might not be allowed to be there because of posting requirements. Thank you.
Thank you. Here, no more comments?
I have a comment.
Okay, Mrs. Clerk Arizalico?
I just want to make sure and make clear to let those parents how percentage they can have from this. Because many times we had a few board members when we had to approve something towards to the parents, they always oppose, saying that parents, they don't have money here. And I think that is 1% is for parent involvement. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Trustee Rico. Anybody else have any more comments? Here none, let's get it ready for the vote. Everybody who agrees, say aye.
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 Any abstains? None. Motion passed. Thank you. 3.1, this board meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody, for coming, and thank you all the staff for being here. Thank you and have a lovely day. Thank you. Goodbye.